Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Before the Bell, where every morning we get into the stock market, we see how the pre-markets are moving, we get an idea and a feel for where the markets might go today. I go over my top stock picks of some stocks I'm going to be trading on, as well as some stocks I'm keeping my eyes on, and we're going to dive into all that. I got a ton of information for you. Before we get into it, please go down, hit the like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification bell because you don't want to miss any of these videos. Let's get right into the markets today. So in the pre-market, the S&P is down a little bit, down about 0.25%. I'm looking through my watch list. Kind of got a mix of red and green, kind of like we had yesterday. I'm not seeing any clear direction in the market. We are on Thursday here. I normally kind of expect Thursdays to be a good day as a rule, especially when we've kind of led up to it the way we have. However, we do have CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. The market could be kind of risk off because of that. So we'll kind of have to wait and see and play that out. Well, let's talk about some stocks that I don't think that's going to matter much on. And one of them is the play that we're still holding from yesterday, Verb. VERB. So we bought this yesterday. I'm in at an average of 42 cents. We're currently up just a little over 43 cents, so we're still up on that play. Hopefully it'll get a little pop today and we'll get 44, 45 cents out of that. That'd be really great. That's what I'm looking for on it. And another stock I want to talk about is a play that I got in yesterday afternoon right after close, and that is Rigel Pharmacy, and that or Pharmaceuticals, I'm sorry, and that is ticker symbol RIGL. Now, if you haven't seen this, it got beat up really bad yesterday, down about 60% on the day. I bought into it at around 75 cents. After market close yesterday, it dived on down. I thought it was going to maybe bottom out around 68 cents. I took another position there. Then it dropped even lower. But it's come back up. It's already been up to 82 cents in the pre-market today. Now it's come down from that now, but I'm hoping after opening bell, I think we're really going to see a spike back. 60% was just way too much for the reason it got beat up on, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling anyone to buy, hold, or sell. Do your own due diligence. But if you want to get a little bit of leg up, I do hours and hours of research every day to bring this information to you. I shoot these videos straight through without editing so that I can get them out to you just as soon as I'm done videoing, so that you got the most up-to-date information I can bring to you. But I think you'll want to check that out. I think there's a good chance that we can get a pop on that. And that's the way I'm playing it anyway. And the other thing that I want to get into, I touched on this a little bit yesterday, and that was IMPP. Now, I absolutely believe that IMPP is potentially getting ready to go on a tear. If you've been in IMPP before, you know it's a short squeeze candidate. And last time IMPP went from 48 cents up to the 80 cent mark is when we had our big run up all the way up over $9. We've set up pretty much the same way. A few days ago we were down in the 40 cent range. In fact, we was buying and trading it in the 40 cent range. And yesterday we got all the way up to 88 cents. Crude oil this morning is up to $122 a barrel, which is even higher than yesterday. Yesterday's oil prices was around $120. So just based on that alone, it's pushing the stock price up. I'd really love to see a squeeze in it. I do like IMPP stock, and I do think that there's a great potential for it to shoot up to at least the $2 mark. That's going to be a really hard line of resistance. We get above $2, then the sky's the limit. But I think there's a good case to be made, especially if we keep the volume that we had yesterday, that we could see this stock get up there close to that price in the very near future. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about really bases off of IMPP, but it's a completely different stock, and that is CEI. And the reason I wanted to bring up CEI is I like IMPP. I've made money with IMPP. I've also made money with CEI. And last time IMPP ran, CEI ran a few days delayed from it. Okay? Now, IMPP is up over 36% in the last couple of days, where CEI, is actually down about 3% over the last few days. Huge gap. It hasn't started to run yet. However, it is starting to gain some popularity. In fact, on my Weeble watch list, it's up to number 9th in top looked at stocks. So it's starting to get some people looking at it. It's beat down. I believe that it has a huge potential to pop up and start catching up with this run that IMPP's on. It's also an oil stock in the same industry, and there's a really good chance it could have a run. It's beat down to almost low prices. It hasn't been lower than 56 cents in a while. It's already down to 59 cents this morning in the pre-market, so I'm really thinking that it's got some potential. I'm going to be looking at finding a position to take on it this morning, because I think that it could play out, if not this week, early next week, and start following IMPP's climb if IMPP can keep this momentum. So there's a couple of stocks in the oil sector. If you want to go look at them, I highly recommend you look at them, kind of compare the charts on them, because they've moved very similarly in the past, just delayed by a few days. So I'm keeping my eye on that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button for me, and be sure and come back and catch us on our afternoon show, our market review, where we go over the market, see how they move for the day. We talk about the plays that we made this morning, how they pan out, and you just get all that information. That way you can keep me honest. I'm not coming on here and being like, oh, I made money on a play that I bought. You know exactly what I'm buying. I talk about it in the mornings. I tell you what I'm doing in the afternoons. You know exactly where I'm in and out at. I want to be completely transparent with you, because I want you to be able to do the same thing I'm doing. I want you to have the freedom to work anywhere in the world. If I've got an internet connection, I can make money. If you're out there struggling to pay bills and don't know how to make money, if you've got a tablet or a phone or a laptop, you can make money. Those are the most money-making devices that exist that I'm aware of. If you own any one of the three and you can have an internet connection, there is so many ways to make money that I would have to have an entire channel dedicated to talking about the ways you could make money with a smartphone. But the stock market, crypto markets, it's a low barrier of entry. You can get into it with whatever you have. Put in 20 bucks a week, whatever, and you can start making money. You can learn how to trade, you can build your knowledge, and at the very least, whether you're trading or not, go down below, click the link. If you don't have the Weeble platform, get Weeble set up, start a watch list. At the very least, you're going to become more informed on what's going on out there in the world, and not just based on what the evening news tells you. Oh, one more stock. I got a little bit of a bonus for you I want to talk about. I almost forgot. And that is NIO, ticker symbol NIO. Now, NIO is an EV company out of China, if you're not familiar with it. If you have heard the name of it, because it's all over YouTube out there, it's not surprising. So, they are down in the pre-market this morning, 8% after having a great run yesterday. Let's see, they were up 3 3/4% yesterday, but they're down this morning 8%. And the reason they're down is they had their Q1 earnings today. Now you might say, oh man, they missed on their earnings. They didn't miss. They were estimated to lose 13 cents, and that's exactly what they did. So basically they're getting beat up for not doing better than the analysts had thought they would. So I think it's an overreaction. They could easily fall some more, but I'd keep my eye on this company because at some point in time today I think we will hit a bottom and we'll see a big bounce up probably tomorrow or Monday on this stock. So feel free to dive into them Q1 earnings. Even though they lost the 13 cents per share, they was estimated. Let's see, pull up the article here real quick. Oh, let's see here. So they were estimated to lose 13 cents. They did lose 13 cents. However, their revenue climbed 24.2% year over year. So their revenue did increase. And let's see here. The company's first quarter deliveries came in at a record 25,768 units. And that's after having an anemic April. Of course, we had, so much stuff going on over there in China, the lockdowns, things like that. And they still, for their quarter one, they ended up with record high delivery numbers. So that's pretty impressive. I like NIO as a company. In fact, if you was to go through all the stocks that I have traded on in my career, I have probably made more money with NIO than anything else, at least on a recurring basis. Now, I've never made fantastic money all at once with NIO. However, with that being said, time and time again, I've gotten into NIO and traded NIO. Where most stocks I don't get in an abundant amount of times there for a long while. I was in and out of NIO stock 3 or 4 times a week. They was trading that consistently. That was it when they was up in the $40 range. I'd buy them around 40, I'd sell them around 44, and I was doing that pretty much daily. So I like NIO stock. The first NIO stock I ever bought, I bought in the $60 range. I liked them so well. And I have bought a ton of NIO in my long-term portfolios when they were down in the low teens. I like NIO as a company. I think it's just a fantastic company. And if it was based here in America, its valuations would be 5 times what they are currently. So if you haven't checked out NIO, or you do like NIO, you know what I'm saying here. But I keep my eye on with them getting beat down this morning because I think there's a good chance of a pop. So be sure to catch me on my evening show, our aftermarket review this afternoon. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of these videos. Until later, be blessed.